Whether you're just starting out in AutoCAD and still using a plain basic rectangular viewport, or even using it for years and already accustomed to some custom viewport properties and settings, in today's video I'm going to share 7 tips and tricks that are sure to make your drawings look better and save you time when it comes to displaying them in your layouts and viewports. Let's jump right into today's video. Alright, so probably one of the first or main tricks that you're going to want to learn when working with viewports is not only the fact that you can have multiple viewports in a drawing. So you can see I've double clicked in this one over here, or I can click in this one over here. So I've got 2 visible right now, but that key tip is that you can change what's visible in one versus the other. So this can be great depending on the type of work you're doing, but to show something like a full floor plan on the left and then show specific details on the right. These viewports could be even at different scales, like one zoomed in on just the kitchen or laundry room and the other one showing the full house plan. This would also apply to site plans and drainage plans or mechanical drawings or anything of the type. So the trick here is if you've got a viewport selected, so you can see it's highlighted that I'm within this viewport and I can select the objects, you can see that these objects are displayed in both. Now if I want to freeze or turn off specific objects while I'm in a viewport, I can simply click this freeze icon up here. The command would be lay freeze, or LAYFRZ. Now any object I click, that layer is going to be frozen in only the viewport I've selected. So you can see if I want to turn off these electrical symbols in just this drawing, I simply clicked one of each of the layers and I have automatically turned them off. But the key here is this is only affecting this single viewport. So if I hit enter, it's going to finish that command. I can click outside of the viewport to deactivate it. And now you can see the electrical is still visible on the left, but not on the right. This is a great and easy way to quickly clean up your drawings in just a few clicks. Anything you don't want shown, just a few clicks away from being hidden and not displayed, yet all of these objects are still available in the model space or in any other viewport in your layouts. Now for the next tip, I know many of you may need to rotate your view. This can be super useful for mechanical parts in particular, but also helpful for site plans and occasionally floor plans. So in our case here, you're going to want to make sure that your viewport is unlocked. And if you haven't already learned this tip, make sure you watch some of my other viewport videos, but you can unlock and lock a viewport by clicking the lock symbol down here on the bottom bar. Also, if it's locked, you can see I've clicked inside and I can't move the view. But as soon as I unclick that view lock button, now when I hold down my middle mouse button, it's going to move around the view. If I choose this viewport over here and I move around, it's not going to move because it's still locked. So going back to our unlocked view here, you have a few options to rotate a viewport. I'm going to show you 3 of them quickly here. The first is you can use this view cube up here and you can faintly see the rotate arrows in the top right. Simply clicking on one is going to rotate at a 90-degree rotation. Each one is going to rotate each time you click. It's going to rotate at 90 degrees. Now, this isn't super useful or accurate in a lot of cases, but if you just want it perpendicular, that's a great way to do it quickly. When it does it, you're going to have to reset your scale. So again, you can do that down here by choosing the drop down and then choosing the scale you had it at. We are probably at 1/8 inch equals a foot there. Now, the other option for rotating viewports is to simply type in dview. So that would be DVIEW and hit enter. Once you do that, it's going to select all of your objects and you just need to type in TW for twist and hit enter. Now you can change that twist angle to anything you like. You can also freehand rotate the view, and this isn't going to affect your model space or any of your objects, just what's visible in this view. So say I want a random angle or something even more common, like we're going to type in 45 degrees and hit enter. Hitting enter again ends that command, and you can see now I've got a floor plan at 45 degrees. Now the nice thing with using this command is it's not going to mess with your scale when you do it if you're not scrolling in and out, zooming in and out. But now I've got a 45-degree angle view of my floor plan or part or whatever I'm showing, and I can simply relock my viewport, and now I can move it back around, click to get out, and I've got a 45-degree view on this one. and a 90 or perpendicular up and down view on this one. You can see all of the objects are still the same objects. The view has just been rotated. So those are the two easiest ways. You can also actually just rotate your viewport. So if I just select the viewport here and type in RO, we're just going to click the center here, and I'm going to type in 100. It's going to rotate it 100 degrees. You can see the whole view rotated as well as the viewport itself. Now, I don't use this one very often because it's not very practical, and typically you're not going to want to rotate your entire viewport, but if you've got a small square or a circle viewport, sometimes that may be an option. I just want to share them all with you so you know what your options are. I've just hit undo a few times there, and we're going to move on to the next tip. Before we jump into the next set of tips, I've still got quite a few for you. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit subscribe to the channel down below for weekly videos and daily shorts teaching you AutoCAD tips, tricks, and tutorials every day. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to check out my AutoCAD Fundamentals and Workflows course. I've now packaged it with all of my templates, webinars, courses, as well as a beginner's course and additional cheat sheets and productivity checklists. You can get all of that at the link up above and down below right now for a discount for viewers such as yourself. All right, so since I did just mention a circle viewport, I didn't want to forget to show and demonstrate the ability to clip viewports to pretty much any object or shape. So you can see I've just drawn a plain old circle here. We're going to create a circular viewport. Now to do that, you're going to want to go to the Layout tab up on the ribbon here, and this tab is only going to be visible when you're in a Layout tab down here at the bottom. So now that we're in the Layout tab, you can simply choose the Clip command. It's also simply VP clip for viewport clip. That's the text command if you want to type it in. So you're going to select the viewport that you want to trim or clip, and then you're going to select the object that you'd like to clip it to. And it's as simple as that. It's now complete, and this object here is now my viewport. So if I double click within this circle, you can see I've got a little circle view of this 45-degree floor plan. Now, this isn't a super useful example maybe of why you would do that, but in some cases this is going to be helpful, especially for like bubble callouts and details. Lots of reasons why you would use a little circle blow up, but typically that's going to be for mechanical or maybe a site plan, depending on your use case. But that's a great tip. If you haven't already, try it out. VP clip, or just go to the Layout tab and click that clip button. All right, so the next one is the change space command, and I only mention this one often because many people still don't know it, and it might be one of the most useful commands when it comes to working and setting up your layouts and model spaces. It's simply going to move objects from one space to another, whether that's model space to paper space or layout space, or paper space to model space. So I've got this viewport here on the left activated. I can select any object like a piece of text. Typically this will be used for text since that's the only thing you would really be using or placing in your layout space. You're not going to place or add line work, dimensions, or anything that should be to scale in your paper space. All of that should be going in your model space, which is what we're looking at with these viewports. But if you need to move some text back and forth, that happens, or in case you accidentally draw some stuff on a layout, you can simply push it into model space by typing in change space. So CH space is the command. Hit enter. It's going to ask you which viewport to use or set the active one. If it's already the correct viewport that you're trying to pull things through, just hit enter. And now that these objects have been moved, they're going to only show up in your layout space, and you can see they've disappeared from this one here because this is actually moving the objects. It's taking them out of model space and putting them into your layout space. So this viewport over here that's looking at model space has no text in model space to look at now. It's been pulled into paper space. So now that I've exited my viewports, which are these two objects here, I'm in paper space, which is where my text is, my title block, and now you can see these room titles are here. We'll do it in reverse. So I've selected all this text. We're going to type in change space or CH space and hit enter. We're going to select the viewport that we want to push them through and hit enter. You can see that they've now shown up back in this viewport and they're back in model space with the other line work and objects. Now, this is a great tip. and Command to memorize because it's sure to come up along the way. Alright, so next up is one that I shared recently in a video about fields in AutoCAD. And if you haven't watched that one, I highly recommend checking it out. But if you're just here to learn about viewport specific tips, this is also going to be helpful. So you can actually link a piece of text. So you can see I've got a text object over here that is showing my scale. Normally I would click on this attribute, type in my new scale and hit enter, and it updates. But if I ever change my viewport scale, this isn't automatically linked. I'll have to update this manually, and occasionally this can lead to confusion or errors on drawings if you've changed the scale in your viewports but not in the title block on the right here. What you can do is create a linked field, which is just an automated piece of text that is going to pull information from somewhere else. So to do that, we're going to right click in our value area here, or this can also just be any piece of text. It doesn't have to be an attribute. It can be an M text or a D text as well. You're going to right click and choose insert field, and then we're going to go to category, objects, field name object, and then we're going to click this button here to select our viewport. We're going to select this one here on the left, and then you're simply going to check off which property you would like to put in that text box. We would like to add our standard scale. If you're using custom scales, you can use this one up here, but if you're just using these standard scales within AutoCAD, choose that property, and then you can choose the format, whether you want to force upper or lowercase. This is numbers, so it doesn't really matter, but we're going to hit OK. You can see this gray piece of text now, and that is simply telling us that this is a linked piece of text. We can't edit it or change it. It's linked to something else somewhere on this drawing. That's fine. The gray doesn't show up or plot, but this now just is letting us know that this is linked and automated. So if we change our scale, so let's unlock our viewport we've got selected over here, and we'll choose 1 to 50. So you can see it's zoomed in twice as much because 50 is half of 100. And if we simply save our drawing or type in regen, that text is automatically updated because we changed our scale. If we change that scale back to 1 to 100, you can see there, simply save the drawing. I'll use Control S to do a quick save, and you can see it's 1 to 100 again. So this is a great way to eliminate any accidental errors and misscaling issues by simply linking your viewport to a piece of text. Now this will run into some issues if you've got multiple viewports, but you can work around that or put a title under each viewport where one of those pieces of text is linked to that specific viewport next to it. Alright, so we're into the last tip now, and this one might be one of the ones that I don't actually use that often, but I should be. It's a huge time saver, especially if you've got busy and confusing projects or large areas. Huge floor plans, this is helpful. Big site plans with multiple areas that you're working on, this can be super useful. And that is creating named views for specific areas within your drawing. It's going to help you create viewports easier, but also set up sheets and keep track of things a lot better. So named views, if you're going to navigate to them, you're going to want to go to the ribbon tab, the view tab in the ribbon up here on the top left. Now this little box here is what you're interested in, and in particular new view. You can type in nView to start this command, or simply click new view. You're going to give your view a name, so we're going to call this one, say, kitchen for our scenario, but this could be like stage 1 or area 2, depending on what your site or area or location is named. We don't have a category for it set, and we're going to just click still. So this is going to be a single location. Now I've clicked define boundary. I want to define where I want this view to be, and this is basically just going to allow you to quickly jump from one area to another. So I've selected my view, I'm going to hit enter, and I'm just going to hit OK. So now you can see on the top here I've got kitchen. It's just going to automatically take me to the kitchen room. Now I can create another new view here. I can call this one dining room. Now you can see where this would be useful with many large projects. Anywhere where you have to remember different locations and areas, or have specific zoom ins or viewports for different sites within your project. So I've got two created now. We created the kitchen and the dining room option. Again, if you wanted to use these more often, you simply go to the view tab, click on the one that you're interested in, and it's going to just go to that set zoomed area. You could also select objects from this, or just go to the area and use current view when you're setting this up. Now, where this is coming in handy with viewports, we're going to go to this example floor plan one here. And so on the left, I've got a viewport that simply shows all of my kitchen, bathroom, laundry room, the entire floor plan. On the right, I'd like to create a quick view of one of my named views. So what I can do here is go to the Layout tab again and click Insert View. It's going to show me my two options. I'm going to choose the kitchen, and I'm just going to hit OK or click to place it. You can see that it's automatically placed the view that I've already set up automatically in a viewport in my layout. Now I can do another one here for dining room. And now we've got a quick 3-view drawing that I've done almost nothing to set up. I've simply clicked and added these viewports. They're automatically in. They've even been set to the proper scale. They're at 1/4 inch equals 1. And now I'm ready to go. I can also do what I had shown before by double clicking in one of these viewports, choosing Lay Freeze, and I can get rid of some of the text here. If I simply want to show the electrical for these, I could go in here, get rid of the text for that one, and there. That's another quick and easy way to set up viewports within AutoCAD that many users aren't taking advantage of nearly enough. Now, I hope this video was helpful, and if you've got any comments, don't forget to leave them down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and check out my AutoCAD Fundamentals and Workflows course and get the complete CAD toolbox to get all of my courses, templates, cheat sheets, and more in one easy to understand package. Thanks again for watching. Have a good one, and cheers.